In this series of videos, we're going to be taking a step backwards, or seemingly so at least, and instead of thinking about making visualizations, we're going to be asking ourselves, where does the data come from in the first place? Like, how did we get the data that we got? And as it turns out, there's an important reason for this. Most of the time, in real-world contexts, we're not given a unified, clean data set that's all in one place and has one format. Much more typically, we're kind of cobbling together data sets from different places. They're kind of all over the place, and we have to bring them together and unify them in a way that makes sense. So for instance, we might have to build a data model that incorporates things like the rating a user left for a product, the users themselves, the movies that the users were rating, and the tags associated with both the tags the user had used and the tags the movie associated with the movie. And all of these things are related to one another in very specific and knowable ways, and we have to basically go through and encode those relationships in whatever language we're using, whether that's SQL or Python or R or Tableau. We have to build this data model using our domain knowledge to knit these things together. So we're going to be learning about a bunch of different things, a bunch of different ways to do this in Tableau. The big ones we're going to talk about are relationships, unions, and joins. Relationships are something that are unique to Tableau. Unions and joins are very, very common and occur in every kind of data science toolkit. We're going to be learning how to make these joins of various types by hand. And I know that seems silly in a big data course or in a big data visualization course, but it's actually important to know kind of what the difference is and really be able to verify to yourself that you know what's going on with things like a left join, a right join, or inner or outer or whatever. We're going to actually build full data models with all the relationships and everything for data sets we've already seen so that we have a way of connecting things together. And then we're going to talk about a couple Tableau specific things that are related to these advanced data sources, blends and live data sets versus extracts. So again, these are not things that occur more generally out in the data science world, but they are things that turn out to be very important for Tableau. So a blend is like a data model, except you never formally join the data tables together. You just visualize them on the same sheet. So it's kind of an interesting thing to think about. And then live versus extract, it's basically, do we have a live connection to the data frame that lives somewhere on the cloud or something like this? Or have we compressed down an extract that we can use that's much faster? For instance, if we're trying to prototype or iterate quickly at the beginning of a project. So we have a lot of ground to cover, and I do want to emphasize how critically important this is. Up to this point, I've been giving us clean, unified data sets to work with so that we don't have to worry about these details. But if we're going to use these tools out in the real world, like of any type of visualization or predictive analytics or kind of just across the board, these notions of joining data frames together are pretty much non-negotiable. So we've got a lot of good stuff coming up.